Okay, what do we talk today?
Did you watch that movie I told you about?
I'm talking about UFO.
Oh, okay, yeah. So yeah, let's switch gears, right? Of course. I was thinking about the Tic Tac incident that happened, right? The Tic Tac video, not the Tic Tac mint. So
Or the TikTok.
or the TikTok, sure, yes. Either way, the Tic Tac video that got super famous recently, right? I wanted to get more insight into that whole video, right? Like how it all started, where it happened, why did it become such a huge thing recently, right? What do you have on the Tic Tac video?
Yeah, first thing, it's not recent. Maybe unless if you're stuck in time.
See,
I think it was released in around 2016, I believe. But the original incident actually happened in around 2004. So yeah, it's been a long time. That's how this UFO topic kind of gets released, right? Where things happen.
why did it have to wait so long for us to see?
We don't know. that's how the government works, I guess. Like leaks works.
Maybe
it takes a long time to drip out, and that's how these information.
Right, and or maybe it's as simple as they didn't find a right name until now. So
oh yeah,
now they have a good
they didn't have TikTok or
TikTok
whatever,
back then,
so now it
not
makes it
relatable
more
back
trendy.
then.
Yeah, maybe probably. Yeah, so yeah, it's a very interesting incident, especially when you think that where this was one of the very few kind of UFO incident where there was an actual what do you call a chase kind of a thing happening,
right, like in the movies.
yeah, something like where like the pilot really engaged with the UFO. So and yeah, we had a first-hand kind of a experience from the pilot, and again, this pilot, I think his name is David Freyer. So, did you watch Top Gun?
Everybody did.
Yeah. So yes, the Top Gun
Yeah.
Maverick, and we all know what it takes to be a
Top Gun pilot. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
Was this David guy was in a similar rank like
Yeah.
Tom Cruise?
Not like Tom Cruise, but point is, he's someone who is the elite of a pilot. So he had the rank of a commander. So which means like he has already flown a lot of flight time, and which means like he's the top of the top. We can say.
Right.
Yeah, the best out of the best, or whatever people say, right?
Yeah, I know how that feels. Yeah.
Yeah. No, you don't.
I don't.
We don't. Definitely. So that's why it makes it really credible, because these people are vetted against a lot of things where like they need to have kind of insane amount of reflexes, and they know what they are seeing. It's not like, okay, and also these aircraft, like, so I think it was an F-18 or something, which was the person David was flying when, yeah, these are like multi-million-dollar aircrafts, like, and it is equipped with kind of sensors which we will never get to kind of regular people
All
like us, so you won't
latest
see them.
tech, right?
Yeah, and then, yeah, so essentially when you fly, right, like, so these people, they become like part of the aircraft, so that's the kind of sense they have. So sometimes how you feel like when you drive, like you feel like you are part of the car and you know how to turn, but yeah, imagine doing the same thing in a 3D, right?
Right.
So going up and down, and so yeah, that's the level of thing this person had. And it was an interesting thing where like I think this happened in the West Coast California side, where USS Nimitz aircraft carrier was there, and they were doing regular exercise. Like, so usually they go out and maybe play something like I don't know if it's a dogfight or some kind of a maneuver they would usually have. So I believe 2 of the F-18s were in the mid of the sea. He explained that it was really sunny day, so there is nothing where like we have to think, oh, it's some
not
random
bad weather
cloud.
or
Yeah,
bad vision or whatever.
yeah, nothing like that. It was as clear as
Beautiful day.
Yeah, it's the best beautiful day
Right,
you can think of. So while they were looking at it, and this is also like where reported by multiple people observing this craft, like where white kind of cylindrical shape. That's why he named it Tic Tac, the one which people use it for mouth freshener. So he saw that some kind of odd, because you don't see such kind of an aircraft, right? I haven't seen anything like that. I've
Right.
been in,
I mean, there is this big balloon kind of aircraft thing. I forgot its name. It's
a blimp.
Right. It's like a big balloon with a small carrier of people underneath it. Right. It kind of looks like a Tic Tac shape, but it.
No,
but
I
you can easily
yes,
say
yes,
that
yes,
it's the
yes.
balloon thing. It's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
like
it's like the blimp, or they call it
whatever that is. Yes.
So yes, but again, this is like we are talking about a restricted airspace where a military exercise is going on.
Right.
So
and reported by someone who is like a legit guy in that field.
Yeah.
Right. And it's not some random person like you or me reporting.
Yep. And also where there is a recorded video.
Right. That's a video.
And they have sensor data. So this was also observed by the ground, not the ground, like there was another carrier also, I believe, like I don't remember the exact name, so which was also observing the same thing in their radar. So this was pretty much observed, and also he had another pilot like at a different perspective. So you can't even say that okay, it's just some parallax effect or something which he was seeing, which was just like a reflection or something, because it's the same object being observed by multiple different mediums. Through different people, through different perspectives. So it kind of tallies up. And the interesting thing is he really tried to engage us when he went towards it. And what David was saying was, it wasn't just like something which just a material which existed. It showed intent. So it engaged back. So he started initiating. So usually these pilots, they have certain maneuvers they do when they start to engage. So it was mimicking the maneuvers he was doing. So there was a clear intent this UFO was showing. So you can't rule out and just say, okay, this is some random thing, right?
Right.
And as and when so this person was engaging, he almost maybe if it continued, maybe you can say, okay, he was almost trying to hit it. Because when they go to, because you can ask this question, right? Why he didn't fire?
Right?
Why he didn't fire anything? Because
was he not scared of the moment? Was he? What made him feel safe to even engage that particular craft without just shooting it down? Right?
Yeah. So that's the part. Like the part where why he didn't shoot down, but rather he tried to chase and engage it closely was they have gone for a military exercise. So these are like training sessions. During a training session, you don't want to accidentally fire a missile.
Right.
So obviously they are not going to have those things in place. So that's why he didn't really have it. But the other reason why he was trying to engage is because you have to understand this is a military airspace.
Right.
So you observing some unidentified flying object which might be a possible adversary or anything, so you need to kind of observe and really get to it, right?
Could before making any decisions about shooting it down or whatever.
So that's the point. Like the interesting thing is, like as and when he engaged and he was almost like about to make a close call, and this just like that disappeared in the sense it kind of moved so fast where he couldn't perceive, but it was observed through the radar system, which was like from the carrier, the aircraft carrier. So they were able to see it. And
was it initially not seen on the radar? Is that, I thought I heard something like that, it was not seen on the radar initially, but then
that's a part I'm not sure. Like maybe it was submerged and it came out of the water, because it was hanging out like just like that, like just another day where it was hanging out over the water body. I don't know what the heck it was doing, because it's like just maybe it's fishing something. I don't know.
Sure, gotta eat.
Yeah.
Got it. So you said 2004. So this incident happened in 2004, and it was released by the U.S. government.
No, US government didn't release. It was leaked.
Leaked.
And
Okay.
then US government later acknowledged it. Yeah, this is.
And when did that
actual
happen?
UFO.
Which year? Like, last
I
year?
believe it is 2016.
2016.
Yeah, it's been a
Okay.
while. Yeah.
And since then, there has been a lot of theories
Yeah,
about this
yeah.
Tic Tac video, right? I mean, even till date, I think there's been some of the other theories that's happening around this video that we saw
Yeah.
years back. Like almost how many years it's been? 6-7 years already, right?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So what is it exactly? I know there isn't an answer for that, but what do you think, or what is the information out there that could explain what that Tic Tac UFO is? Is it like a secret military vehicle, or some kind of a high tech balloon, or some kind of a simple weather balloon, or what do you think it could be, or what is it? Is there any information on that?
One thing I can say with 100% certainty,
Okay.
it is definitely not a Tic Tac.
Sure. I mean, I didn't taste it, but I'll trust you on that.
Yeah, it's
That's a bad joke. Okay.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, yeah, Tic Tac.
Right.
It's definitely not a Tic Tac. Is it a balloon? Very unlikely from the observation and the
Right.
video which we see, because something where it showed intent and a random balloon at a military airbase or
Is
is also where, like, and when someone engages, why it has to just disappear, and a balloon can't travel in that kind of speed.
right.
So yeah, and also a Top Gun kind of a pilot should know.
Hopefully, he doesn't chase a
yeah,
balloon.
yeah, he should know what's a difference between a balloon and something which is like actual aircraft kind of a material.
Right. Right.
So yeah, is it like a US secret project? Maybe that's like a lot of theories. People say, oh no, US always does this secret because like even the stealth bomber which they built a lot of years, like where like people didn't know something like that
Existed, right? Yeah.
Only
yeah.
later it came to know. Right? But if let's assume it's that. Okay.
Mhm.
Does it make sense to risk a multi-million-dollar aircraft? Because he said like he almost like kind of would have hit it,
Right.
And it's not just one; it's multiple aircrafts.
Right.
And why they have to test a secret project in a non-secret way, especially at a risking other people's lives
and
things.
missionary, right?
Yeah.
Expensive missionary. Yeah.
Exactly, it doesn't make sense. So and if it's the case where even within the US military there is such a miscommunication where there is one group who is testing out certain secret aircraft, and the other group working on the military exercise, and then there is like even another bigger problem, right? Like
Right.
there is like what's happening here.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
That's true.
And if you think, okay, yeah, this is like some foreign adversary,
Trying to spy on us.
yeah, spy on the country, or like spy on the. It's like it's a joke, right? Where like, do you think like really something like that could happen? Where like US being the most advanced in terms of military, and a foreign adversary can
Right.
just like that. I'm not saying like they're not doing it, but possessing an aircraft, because we have to understand the capability it was exhibiting. It was able to make maneuvers,
Right.
which is like impossible for it to be manned, because if you are inside with facing such G forces, you'll be crushed instantly.
Right.
It's physically it's impossible for with our known physics, and that's the other important thing, right? We didn't notice any known propulsion system.
Right. That was my next question, right? Like, if it's really an aircraft that's built here by people that usually builds these super fast aircrafts, almost all the aircraft that we see today has some kind of propulsion system, right? Like you see all these glowing thing in the back of the aircraft, and it's just like flies super fast.
Typically, we just have two propulsion systems. Either it's a gas turbine or a propeller. That's it.
Right.
And there is no known structure. Like you don't make a cylinder and just make it fly.
Right.
Because you need to have a kind of aerodynamic structure which can actually there is no wing, right? Like, so you need a wing. That's how, like, the Bernoulli's principle, all these things comes into play, and that's how these things fly. So you can't just fly some random shape, and which means, like, this is something which we don't usually know about. So something which is like exotic technology is what I would put it as.
Okay, being safe there. Okay.
Yeah.
You didn't want to say alien technology.
We don't know. I would say we don't know. But anything, so that's the point, right? Like, so anything which we don't understand is alien to us. That's the point, right?
Right.
Yeah. So, we don't understand this. So, in that way, you can term it as alien technology. Yeah.
Right. Do you think, okay, you didn't mention when you say that it maneuvered and it traveled at speeds, the Tic Tac, the way it maneuvered and the speed it traveled, it is possibly, it doesn't have a human inside it, right? Is it safe to assume that there is no human inside?
We cannot fully say, because we don't know what kind of mechanism it is using. But because the way it was moving, right, it felt like there is no inertia or anything for it. Like, so even if you are able to create enough energy to make a craft to move with such speed, say, because it was moving at maybe, I don't know, like, I'm just throwing in numbers, like maybe 20,000 miles per hour or like something, and then made a U-turn or just like immediately switch the directions.
Right.
Even if we have a propulsion which is able to do such maneuver, the structure itself will also collapse.
Right.
Because the amount of G-force, not just the occupants, the structure itself
material,
can... Yeah, so that's why. So maybe the way this was moving, it feels like, again, I'm not saying this is as a fact, like, it feels like it is agnostic of the space-time which it is moving to.
All right, I think we are jumping into another a totally different subject here, but maybe that's where it ends up to be. Right? So I do have one other question, right? Like, what do you think, like, with all the information out there, right, about Tic Tac video and numerous legit people suggesting that it is a true incident, and just to prove that it is legit, US government agreed to this video being a real one and all that, right? Let's keep all that aside. From what you've studied or what you've researched so far, what do you think is the most interesting thing about this whole Tic Tac incident?
Oh yeah, I hoped I was hoping you'll ask that. Yeah, it's the most interesting aspect or about this incident. It's not just like the fact where there was a actual video footage and there was an actual chase and all these things happened. It's the story or what David was explaining later, which really caught my attention personally, where he was saying when he was engaging, after he said where it just like disappeared, right? Right. And they were
like it disappeared after a while, right? Like David was trying to follow it, or he
was engaging, and the UFO also was engaging. So they went into a kind of a spiral, kind of a maneuver, where eventually maybe they might have they would have gone into a head-on collision kind of a maneuver.
Right.
But then like this went off,
it got
out of sight.
Like, this guy is too slow for me, and the Tic Tac is like, I'm out of here.
Maybe.
Right. Okay. Go on.
But that's a part where the interesting thing is, usually we have to think of in terms of a 3D space, right? Where like, because when you are in a car, right? Like, so maybe you and your friend are driving together, and then for some reason you chase some random person down the street.
Okay.
but then that person took off.
Right.
But then maybe you and your friend would have said, oh, maybe if I'm lost, like we both are lost, like maybe let's catch up down this alley or some other street.
Right.
So you both want to meet back.
Right. Some known
Right?
area, some known spot.
space.
Right.
So like that, when these people go into a military exercise,
Mhm.
they have something called like a rendezvous point where like it's like a checkpoint you can think of.
Gotcha.
So maybe okay, after our exercise, let's get back to this point.
Right.
So it is. So you have to think like this is not just like a road or street, right? Because it's
It's a
out
point
there.
in space.
It's a point in space.
Okay.
So
okay, they're not going to land their flight or
yeah,
anything. They
you're
will
still
be
flying, but
in
it's a coordinate. So it is like it has both x, y, z, all three coordinates. So
Okay.
it's a point in space.
Okay.
And this rendezvous point is not known by everyone. So it is
Okay.
like something like a secret kind of thing, which is kept within the two pilots, like or the group of who is engaging who are doing this exercise.
Okay.
So the most interesting thing is after the end of that engagement, where like when the Tic Tac disappeared,
Mm-hmm.
the radar system in the aircraft, in the aircraft carrier.
Mm-hmm.
So the radar person who was observing this, he was saying while these people were about to leave, they were going. This rendezvous point is like quite far
Okay.
from where they were.
From where the chase happened.
Yeah, where
okay.
the chase happened, and they were returning to the rendezvous point
Gotcha.
once they kind of lost track of this Tic Tac.
Okay.
And this radar guy kind of radios the pilot saying, "You are not going to believe where this UFO is.
Okay.
It was waiting for them
At the rendezvous
point."
Come on, man. Yeah, and this is true.
Yeah, exactly. This is like what happened, and like this is what like David was saying. This literally blows my mind, right? Like what it's like that's why like we are not just looking at a unidentified flying object.
Mhm.
This is really some unidentified anomalous phenomena. That's why maybe they really named it as UAP, because it's more than just some object flying through the sky.
Okay.
So, yeah, this topic is this topic is a crazy kind of a field, man. Where the more you dive into it, the more things, questions you come across, and the more question on reality itself you will be asking.
But did they go to the rendezvous point and meet with the UFO or?
I don't know exactly what happened. Like I don't know if
That happened.
Yeah, but basically it was. I felt like where like it was giving them a message.
Mhm.
I know what's your next move. Even before, so that's why like so it comes to, I don't know if it's a show off
Mhm.
from the whatever craft which they were observing,
Mhm.
but if it was me, I would be scared.
Right. Yeah, I think I should have said what's the scariest thing about this whole Tic Tac incident rather than the interesting thing, right? It's like I think the Tic Tac is saying, I know what your next move is. Right?
Yeah,
So I think what we need to understand is getting past the point that UFOs are real or not. I think we should be more worried about why is it here? What does it want from us, right?
Yeah. I think we are way past the question, are UFOs real or not? I think the US government has already acknowledged it.
Right.
So I don't think there is any good, because UFO means just unidentified flying object, and they have acknowledged even within the
Right.
military restricted airspace, we have unidentified flying objects which we really don't know what they are.
Right.
That's what the US government has officially acknowledged. So no question about UFO exist or not.
Right.
So the question is, the explanation is what is pending.
Right.
What this all means. How can something know ahead of time?
Right, exactly. Right. Yeah. Well, it was nice talking about Tic Tac in detail.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Michio Kaku.